Will this recession be enough for Tesla to kill Ford? Could this recession actually kill Tesla too? Could the government tip the scales in someone's favor? I'll answer those questions for you right now. Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we will cover a comparison of both Ford and Tesla, what role the government will play in this, and in the end, who survives this recession. And thank you to all of you out there that have subscribed and helped me get to 1,000 subscribers. I see a lot of the same names in the comment section, so I feel like we're really connecting and getting to know each other. And to my Patreons, it's been fun getting to know you guys both personally and discuss life and trading as well. So thank you very much for your support. All right, enough of that sappy stuff. Back to the reason why you clicked. Comparison of both Ford and Tesla. Since you guys are probably familiar with Tesla, let's give a quick overview of Ford. Ford was founded in, well, apparently I didn't put it in my notes, hang on. Ford was founded in 1903. The current CEO is Jim Hackett. I think that's right. Market share in the United States is almost 14%, and the market cap is over $20 billion. Now let's take a quick look at Tesla. Tesla was founded in 2003. The current CEO is, of course, Elon Musk. Market share in the US is 1.3%, and their market cap is $120 billion. Now let's take a look at both companies' financials. For anybody looking to invest, this is critical to comparing companies in regards to buying stock. Don't fall for the hype videos that are out there where they throw up a bunch of flashy graphics and a bunch of other crap like that. Look at the data and interpret it using your brain. So let's take a quick look at Ford's balance sheet. As you can see right there, Ford has a ton of cash, but it also has a lot of debt if you look on down there. There really isn't a lot of room for profit after all the bills are paid. And in case you were wondering, Ford just took out $15.4 billion off a credit line to add to their cash position. So actually right now they're still reporting right around $30 billion in cash. And last week, Ford CFO says that he thinks they have enough cash to get through Q3. And now let's jump on over to Tesla and take a look at their balance sheet. Tesla has a strong cash position, but Ford has way more cash. So they should be in a better spot, right? Wrong. Look at Tesla's debt position and then look at Ford's again. You can see Tesla is carrying way less debt than Ford. Tesla also does not have all the long-term obligations that Ford does. No large pension system and no quarterly dividends to pay. And remember, almost half of Ford's cash position was just added via credit lines. So it was straight debt. Unlike the equity offering Tesla made to raise an additional $2 billion that they added to their balance sheet. Tesla has the cash to operate at least 18 months, unlike Ford, who only has the ability to run for another 6 months or so. So overall, Tesla has a clean balance sheet relative to Ford and made the right decisions with non-debt capital raises to ensure they can weather this storm, even if they didn't really know the storm was coming. On the other hand, Ford's balance sheet is littered with landmines and must be viewed cautiously. But as this recession kicks in, what role will the government play? I've mentioned this in previous videos, but let's take a more in-depth look. As this all plays out, the possibility of bailouts or aid becomes more and more realistic. But I feel like Tesla wouldn't get any help regardless. Hey, before you get too riled up, slow down, slow down. Tesla doesn't need one for the foreseeable future. And I don't think they want one anyways. But if the government steps in to help out Ford or GM again, it will give them a leg up that they desperately need in their fight against Tesla. There are many issues that Ford has, most of them self-inflicted, but a bailout will allow them to get out of certain obligations, maneuver their balance sheet, and cut some dead weight that is holding the company back. Furthermore, I do believe that if a bailout does happen, the government will remove certain regulations or restrictions to help them out with their, investment. And since the government has investment in them, do you think it's out of the realm of possibility that they would offer US consumers additional incentives to buy Ford or GM? I don't do politics, but I do invest and have been for almost 2 decades, and certain things always hold true. When you have friends in Washington, you get taken care of when you're in trouble. It's just the way it is. And I do believe the auto industry and the oil industry are very large contributors to politicians. They have very strong lobbies in Washington, and they have personal relationships with very powerful people. Long story short, Ford has a powerful ally that Tesla just doesn't have. So make sure you subscribe right now so we can become powerful allies. And if you have already, awesome. Then please just like the video so the government, YouTube will promote the video and it will help the algorithm, which I guess is like YouTube's version of taxes or something. I don't know. In the end, who survives this recession? There are going to be many corporate casualties due to this illness, especially if we do not see a vaccine or cure for another 6 months or a year. Cars are big purchases. People aren't driving nearly as much, and times are just tough overall for a lot of Americans. There will be less buyers for the huge glut of cars that will be available. But what I find very interesting during this time is Tesla seems to be acting like a caged animal, ready to break out and run. Their corporate maneuvering and posturing during this downturn is one of aggression and growth. Contrast that with Ford, who has taken a very defensive corporate position during this downturn. I think this reflects the agility, or lack thereof, in the balance sheets and the attitude of management. So let's take a look at both of those points a little deeper. Tesla has a balance sheet that allows it to take more chances, burn through more cash, and not put its shareholders at risk. In a pinch, Tesla could easily raise cash by issuing debt, and it has a stock price where they could conceivably raise a lot more money by just issuing more shares. When the stock price is $700 per share, you can raise some serious cash still, even in this down market. Contrast that with Ford. They're very debt heavy, and although they have a ton of cash compared to Tesla, their obligation rate is significantly higher. They could issue that debt, but who is the buyer? And how much more debt could they actually handle? What interest rate would you have to pay to entice buyers at this stage? And raising cash from a stock issue is a no-go at $5 per share. The best analogy I can think of is that their balance sheet is like an old, overweight ex-athlete. You just can't expect them to be very agile or athletic in their current condition. And the second point in all this, the management of both are very different as well. Ford is very, corporate. Did you even know the CEO's name before I said it in this video? I know I sure didn't before I researched for this video. Remember, the CEO's job is to make shareholders happy in the end. And with Ford, that's to continue delivering that huge dividend that they offer, which takes huge chunks of cash away from making the business better. Furthermore, and they'll never admit it, but it's true, the secondary driver for that CEO is to keep his job. So it's going to be conservative in nature. Look, if you spent 20 years working your way up the corporate ladder and finally had a job making $17, $18 million a year, I bet you wouldn't be as cavalier as you think you would. Contrast that with Elon Musk. He is a founder who just happens to be the CEO. And he didn't grow this business by climbing the corporate ladder, but by being a visionary. He broke the rules, not followed them like Mr. Hackett did to climb the ranks. So they both got to where they are by two completely different paths. Neither is suddenly going to switch to something when what they have been doing has worked to great success their entire careers. And nobody can argue that both men haven't been incredibly successful. But you can see the vast difference between how the two operate and how that infiltrates the very fabric of each company. In the end, I believe they both survived this recession. Yes, I believe Tesla is going to come out exploding when this all clears, and long term, they are the future. However, Tesla cannot beat the government, and they will do what it takes to help their friends at Ford in the meantime. If we did not have this black swan event and Ford was just struggling, a bailout may not be tolerable. But given the circumstances, the government can act with little to no pushback. Hey, I agree. We can all say that it isn't fair that Tesla would not get the same courtesy if the roles were reversed, but I don't think Tesla or Elon really cares. It's that attitude that is winning the war. So the next thing you need to do is click this video right here to get more details on my strategy for buying stock. But wait, make sure you like the video as well. Thanks.